Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy new moon. I'm excited to be here today to continue this conversation series on true nature. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Gutierrez. I'm a psychiatrist, and my passion and my purpose is in helping people restore their connection to their true nature and the greater web of life for personal and planetary well-being. So welcome. And last week I spoke about what is my definition of true nature. And today I'm going to be diving a little deeper into how does this show up in your daily life? How, when you're not living your true nature, what are 5 signs that you're not living your true nature? How does this look? And in the phrase live your true nature, I want to bring your attention to the words live and true. Because only you can be honest with yourself about whether you're living true to yourself or not. And no matter what anyone else thinks or how your life is going or how it looks on the outside, only you know if you're being true to yourself or not. So as you listen today, just really be true, be honest with yourself, but also be kind to yourself, because something my embodiment teacher said to me once that has stuck with me throughout my journey is any level of self-awareness has to be met with at least an equal and preferably even greater level of self-love. So as we do this work, this personal reclamation and restoration work, and we gain all these insights, we have to meet this with the energy of love and acceptance and kindness. We don't look at ourselves and be more critical of ourselves. That's not the energy that actually transforms. So as we go through today's, just be honest, but also be really loving with yourself. Okay, so let's just jump right into 5 signs that you are not living your true nature. So number 1, you feel disconnected, isolated, and lonely. This is not your true nature. Our true nature is interconnected to this greater web of life. But when we're not connected, we do feel isolated and lonely. And, I think in the middle of this pandemic, I want to share an analogy that might help to elucidate what I mean. So if you've been sheltering in place and working from home and such, there's no way you've been getting around not using the internet in the past few months. Like, the internet has been the life source to staying connected. And so when your internet is down, you feel like you can't do anything. You're not connected. And to be honest, I'm someone who doesn't really, I'm not very technologically oriented. So when my internet is down, I actually found myself curious to ask, like, I actually really don't even know how internet works. Like, what does this mean that my internet connection is down? And so the beauty of living in this day and age is you can actually look anything up, and when your internet's back up, you can look it up. So I did some research on what exactly, how does the internet work? And I won't go into the details, but it was fascinating for me to learn that the internet is actually, there's a foundation of physical hardware. There's miles and miles of underground fiber optic cables underneath the ground and in the ocean, and it connects our planet with this physical hardware. And then there's information stored on computer servers, and then in your home you might have a router that is also connected to this cable network of connection. and information gets routed to you. But if you're not connected to that network, then you're kind of offline. That doesn't mean that the internet's off. The internet's there, but you're offline. You can't tap into it. So in the same way, well, in similar and different ways, the web of life is this network, this highly complex, intelligent network of intelligence that's out there all the time. But unless you're connected to it, you're not getting it. You're not giving and receiving this wealth of information. And when you're not connected to either the internet or this greater web of life, not only can you not access all the connection and information, but the network can't access what you have to share, what you bring to the network. And I think that's really important to emphasize too, that this is not just about if I'm disconnected, I can't get. But if I'm disconnected, I can't contribute to this web of life. And that's why it's so important to reconnect, because when you reconnect, it's this bi-directional exchange that's so rich. Okay, so sign number 2 that you're not living your true nature is that you feel constantly tired or drained of energy. Now, I'm going through these signs because I've lived through all of them myself. I have, gone through my own journey of being disconnected from my true nature and step by step reconnecting myself. So I was someone who constantly dealt with being drained of energy. And that's because when you're not connected to this web of life that I just spoke about, not only is there not an information exchange, but there's also, you're not plugged into the life force energy that this network is a resource for. And so it's like plants, when they are droopy, they need water, they need sunlight. And humans, when we're not plugged into this web of life, we get kind of droopy and energetically drained. The good news is we don't need an external router. We don't need, we're hardwired. You have everything inside of you to connect to this greater web of life. It's in your DNA. It just might be dormant, and we just need to turn it back on, dust it off and turn it back on to access this infinite resource of the greater web of life, and your energy. Your access to energy is abundant. That is something that once you learn how to access, it's life-changing. So, all right, on to sign number 3 that you're not living your true nature is you keep telling yourself life will get better when, fill in the blank. When the kids are grown, when I retire, when I have more money, when the next comet comes around, or I'm just being facetious. But it's this orientation of not now, but then. And that's actually our mind. It's not our true nature. Our true nature is fresh. It's alive and fully present in the present moment. And humans are such this interesting expression. Well, actually, all nature is very interesting, but we're these infinite, eternal souls, but we live in these very finite human bodies that have a lifespan, that have a very, finite lifespan that, we hope will last, give or take 100 years or so. And it's this dual awareness at all times of our eternal nature with our finite human experience that makes life so precious, each moment so treasured that we don't want to wait for life to get better when. We just realize that life is happening right now, and this moment is all we have, and the next moment after that. That's truly living, is being fully present to this moment. So I like to weave in direct experience into my teachings, because I can talk. That keeps us maybe at the level of the mind and information, but it's being alive is really about direct experience. So I'd like to just lead you in a quick experiential meditation to drop into the present moment, connect to your true nature, and continue the rest of the talk from that place. So I'm going to invite you to just get comfortable, whatever place you're listening from. If you can, find some privacy, and or not. We're just going to be doing this for a couple minutes. I want you feel comfortable to close your eyes and start bringing your attention to your breath. That movement of air in and out through your nose. I want you to bring awareness to your body and just invite it to relax. Invite it to let go of any tension it might be holding on to. And asking your mind to just be fully present right here, right now. Connect into your heart center, which is one of the direct portals to your true nature. And just make the declaration, I am connecting to my true nature. I am connecting to my true nature. My true nature is alive and present with me right now. And from that connected space, we can continue the rest of this talk. You might just notice yourself being more embodied and more present. Okay, so moving on to sign number 4, that you're not living your true nature, is your life may be externally successful, or it may look externally successful, but you feel a lack of internal satisfaction. And again, this is something that only you can be honest with yourself about, because no one else can know what it feels like on the inside, what your life feels like on the inside. And there's no judgments if you're assessing that I'm not being true to myself. There's things that are out of alignment that don't feel right, because we've all been an inevitable result of living lives driven by external measures and conditioned roles and expectations. So we can't escape from it. And this is just the timeline of human evolution and planetary evolution. So we had to be conditioned in order to break free from it. And so it's just, there's no criticizing or blaming of anyone. It's just, this is a process we all have to go through. And now hopefully we can create a world where our children and future generations will have less conditioning and more freedom. But we have to start with ourselves. We have to free ourselves first. And it's like letting ourselves out of a prison cell that we might not have even known we were in, and it's a cell that hasn't been locked. We think it's been locked and we've been living inside it, but it's either not been locked, or we have the key. We actually can just let ourselves out of the prison of our own conditioning and let our true nature come out and live from that place, where we have internal alignment and satisfaction. All right. And then the fifth sign that you are not living from your true nature is that you are operating from scarcity consciousness, a constant feeling that there's just not enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough love, not enough energy, not enough whatever. There's this real mental orientation and physical experience of there's just not enough. And that's not true either. Our true natures are abundant and infinite. And when we're reconnected to this greater web of life, this infinite supply of life force energy, you just experience the natural flow of life through you. And this is abundance. This is true abundance. You don't cling onto or hold on to or accumulate money, time, people, possessions, experiences because of fear that you'll run out or lose it. You just relax your grip. You relax your grip on yourself. You relax your grip on your life, on others. And then you just let everything flow through you, experiences and resources, because you know that there's just an infinite supply of it. And that true abundance is opening yourself up to experience this flow. It's like when they open the dams and they measure the volume of water they let through. They measure the volume of water passing through. That is abundance, is when you can allow more to pass through you, knowing that you can always access more. There's no need to worry about it. And I like to look to nature again to model for me how to do it. And I look at the fruit trees, especially in the summer, just dripping their bounty. You know, the peach tree just explodes with all these peaches. You know, the tree's not taking orders and saying, how many peaches should I produce this year because, you know, I have this many orders to fill. You know, that's a very human construct of supply and demand and production, and it's not our true nature. Our true nature is just we show up and we give fully because it's what we can do, and the tree just shines in all her bounty, and she doesn't worry if the fruit doesn't get eaten or picked. It just falls to the ground. It's not wasted. It just gets recycled to another season of transformation and growth. And what would it be like if we could live in that way? If we could let our lives and our sharing of ourselves with each other be from that place of generosity and bounty. That would be beautiful and amazing, I think. All right, so I went over 5 signs that you are not living your true nature. You might feel disconnected, isolated, or lonely. You might feel constantly tired or drained of energy. You keep telling yourself life will get better when, or your life might look very externally successful, but you don't feel an internal satisfaction. or you're constantly operating from a scarcity consciousness of a feeling of there's not enough. Um, and we all might have some degree of one or many of these things, and that's okay. That's where we're starting from. But to know that that doesn't have to stay that way, that we can live from a different place, um, where we can access a greater web of life, greater resources, intelligence, and energy, and we can share, we can give and share with generosity. It's possible. And I wanted to, there's another sign that I just want to touch on, because it feels really important for me to share, but I didn't want to say 6 signs. I don't know why. So another sign that you're not living your true nature is that you don't feel creative, like you tell yourself, I'm not creative, or that you know you are creative, but it's just not flowing out of you. There's no outlet for it. It feels blocked somehow. And our true natures as humans, like, we are super creative creatures. And we have so much to offer this web of life. It's incredible. Like, we don't even have any idea of how amazing life can get on this planet. If humans were to tap into their true potential and plug back into the greater web of life and share what we have to share and learn what we have to learn from the other parts of the web of life, it's really just, I'm super excited to be alive at this time, to witness what we can create together. So if you're feeling like also your creative life is not flowing, that's also could be a sign that there might be some blockage from your true nature, from accessing your true nature. So anyways, I hope that was useful, helpful, or at least it sparked something inside of you. I'm super pumped up to be launching my Live Your True Nature program this fall. It will coincide with the fall autumnal equinox, and it's going to be a 3-month experiential program. And 2020 has been such a dynamic, potent year. I don't think any of us knew what was going to happen in 2020. And here we are halfway through it, and there might be some of you who are feeling like, I am ready for some major shifts in how I live my life. I want to live from a different place. I want to experience my life differently. And so this program might be something that you resonate with, and it's going to be my beta program. So I anticipate keeping the numbers small. And so if you're interested, priority will be given to those on the wait list. So you can get your name on the wait list. I'm going to put the link for that in the show notes. And I'm just going to be continuing to share more about all of this in the coming weeks. And so drop me a message or a comment if you have any questions, and I look forward to continuing these conversations with you, and really all of us waking up to our true natures and living life from a more abundant, alive place. Okay, have a beautiful, blessed week, and I'll catch you next time.